So looking at our first question, is the 0.36 a solution to the system of inequalities? Why or why not? So what I want to do is I want to look at the region of these graphs. I'm going to type these in. 3x minus y is greater than or equal to 3. X plus y is less than 11. Again, we can use the skills from graphing one inequality to graph them both on the same graph. Now, when I graph it, keep in mind only the intersecting region. So this dark red, grayish region right down here is our solutions. These two regions on the left and the right aren't. It's only the intersecting of the two. So the question is, does the 0.36 lie within this intersecting region? So if I go over to 1, 2, 3, and up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it looks like that's right on the line. Well, because this line is solid, because it can equal to this line, I'm going to say yes, because it lies on the line 3x minus y is greater than or equal to 3. So it is a solution and it does satisfy both. If I look at the next example, it says solve the following system of linear equations by graphing. So again, I'm going to rely on using Desmos to graph these. Here's my first region. Here's my second region. We only need the intersection of the two. So Desmos doesn't cut out these other two regions, but we need to focus on this teal colored intersection. That's where all our solutions are. So if you pick a point in here, it works. It satisfies. So if I want to sketch this out, let's focus on the first graph. We know it's y is greater than x, up 1 over 1 as the slope, and it crosses at 0, 0. So let me plot this graph. Crosses at 0, 0, has a slope of 1. We know it's a dotted line because it's just greater than. So let me create that line the best I can. I'm going to hold off on shading for now because I want to graph this one. This one has an intersection at 7 and at 3.5. At 7 and at 3.5. It's a solid line. And we know the intersection of the two is only this region. So that's all I'm going to shade. I'm just going to shade this region. Okay, looking at the last one, if I graph these two inequalities using Desmos, we have our first inequality and our second inequality. Solutions are the intersecting regions, so this portion up here, highlighted by my mouse, I'm going to go ahead and graph this. So let me focus on the first. I have intersections at -5 for the y and 5 for the x. We know it's a solid line because it's less than or equal to. I'm going to hold off on shading because I want the intersection of the two. So I'm going to do the x is greater than 4. If you remember, that's a vertical line, crosses x at 4. Definitely a dotted line because it's strictly greater than. And remember, the intersection was the top right region. So if I asked you a question based off this, is 0, 0 a solution to this system? You would tell me, based on this graph, 0, 0 is down here. It's not in the green shaded region, so no, it is not in the region of solutions. And if I ask you, is 10, 11 a solution? You would look to the graph and say, well, if I go over 10, I go up 11, that's definitely within this green region. It might be easier to see over on the right. If I go over 10 and up 11, this lies right in that region. So you would say, yes, it is in a region of solutions. So on this section, you can definitely rely on Desmos. Remember to test your points to see which one works, and the regions only are the intersecting two. So this would be our solution set. I can't stress that enough. But besides that, go ahead and do the assignment. And next up will be the Module 2 test.